Welcome to Season 4 of Song Revolution, where you're going to find great information, interviews, and inspiration to fulfill your passionate calling to write great songs. Hey guys, John Chisum back with you again for another great episode of Song Revolution. We've been doing this show since 2017, and every week I always want to encourage you to go back and check out all of the many great episodes in the archives. And I always think of Bear Reinhardt from Need to Breathe, Kim Walker-Smith, we have Carrie and Cody, we have Matt Marr, Matthew West. There's so many great ones back there. And if you missed those, take a few minutes, scroll through the archives and see what hits your fancy. We're here to empower you. We are here to encourage you. We're here to help bring the skills and the understanding and the power that you could fulfill your passionate calling to write great songs for Jesus. That's what we want to do. We've been at this, we're in our 11th year here at NCS, and we're so excited to see the growth that God's giving us. We now have NCS Records. We have a publishing company. We have great coaches and writers. We have one-on-one programs and artist development programs, and it's all there for you to understand at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. You can check out links in the show notes, sign up for our newsletter, and most especially for our brand new NCS Complete Songwriting Guide. This is the second podcast that I'm talking about it. We're going to be in theme number 2 today, which is taking your work from a demo to the world. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, the hyperlink is in the show notes. Check it out. It's absolutely free. We have 12 different themes, and I'm going to take 12 shows here, I think, to go through each theme and give you an overview of that, and then you can download the guide and check it out for yourself. So last week, we introduced the guide and we talked about setting an intention, becoming an intentional Christian songwriter. If you're a hobbyist around this, it's just for fun, that is so cool. But if you want to really grow and really be heard above the thousands and thousands of songs being released every day, I think it's going to take some intentionality on your part. It's going to take learning some skills. It's going to take really harnessing that creativity, like creative riverbanks. You know, you have this river of inspiration flowing in your life, but now you need the riverbanks. You need the skills to capture all of that inspiration in songs that can really be sticky and really be powerful and compelling and engaging for people to embrace. You know, that's what all of your popular songs, they've come out of people really being intentional. When you think of Chris Tomlin and Brandon Lake and all of the popular writers, Phil Wickham, these people have spent millions of dollars probably and hundreds of thousands of hours really honing their craft and learning how to do what God's called them to do. And it's really ridiculous to think that you're going to go from an amateur writer to a high-profile, powerful, global communicator without taking some intentional steps. So be sure to dedicate yourself to that. I want to jump into theme number 2 today, which really is around taking your work from demo level or demonstration level, voice memo level, to a high-level production.
Hey everybody, we'll get right back to the episode in just a second, but if you're a songwriter who wants to grow in their craft, finally finish those songs that have been stuck in your journal for years, and connect and collaborate with Christian songwriters from around the globe, NCS Community is the place to start. We meet every week to offer accountability, training, resources, masterclasses, feedback, and song critiques on things that you're working on. And it's just a great place to connect with other Christian songwriters and encourage each other on the journey of becoming a great songwriter. NCS's mission has always been to empower Christian songwriters worldwide, and we'd love to see you there. So check it out, NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com/community. You can find all the details there right on our website, and we'd love to see you inside NCS Community. Check it out.
You know, we're in basically a tsunami of AI right now, and people are basically entering prompts and microwaving songs these days, and it's pretty ridiculous right now. And you can go back, I've got a couple of episodes around that recently, so I'm not going to rehash all that, but we're not into that. We are into authentic human songwriting. I think that AI could be a real help when it comes to demonstrating your songs, because you could actually put in your melody and your lyrics and get different versions that you could from AI that you could then take to a real studio and with real musicians create real music. That's cool. I think that's good. But we want to really coach you on learning to write great lyrics, not depending on AI to go out and basically steal people's lyrics. We don't want to do that. Or steal people's melodies. We want to coach you and help you understand how real humans write real songs, right? But it begins with a work demo. Sometimes I still call it a work tape because I'm so old. But, because all we had was tape. Back in the day, I used to work on 2-inch magnetic tape. Well, not anymore. It all went digital, and that's cool. And we have the power within our own cell phones now to create work demos. And I have probably 1,000 on my phone, which is great, a voice memo. And it's a very cool thing. And you want to be able to do that. And that could be basically you singing a cappella. It could be capturing a verse, capturing maybe a lyric idea, maybe capturing a full chorus. Or when I'm in a work session with a co-writer, we'll work through, I could do 8, 10, 12 voice memos in a session. For me, it's a little harder to just turn on the voice memo app and let it run for the whole hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours, and then go back and find where we wrote the verse, where we wrote the chorus, where we might have had some bridge ideas. That's very hard for me. And so somebody's texting me, apologize for that. But what I like to do is work on a particular section of the song and then just get that section down on the voice memo and have individual voice memos that are labeled verse idea, chorus idea, etc. And then once we get the whole song put together, which we'll write an entire song in 2 hours or less, then come back and try to get a whole version of the song on a voice memo. I do that. And so that's what I would call a work demo. You can see here in the guide that we have 3 levels of music production: work demos, home demos, and then professional studio demos or master recordings. It depends on your intention. Let me talk a little bit about what those things are. Let me see what my next page says. Right, so a work demo here is a voice memo on your phone. You could be singing a cappella, or it could be a simple guitar or piano accompaniment. And the purpose of this is just clarity. That's all you want to do. You just want to get the idea down. You're not going for production. You're not going for multiple instruments. I guess I could turn my phone down so you're not hearing that beep. Sorry about that. Hey, we're just in real time over here at NCS. But it's not about presenting a whole arrangement. You're just trying to get your lyrics and your melody down on a voice memo so that you can come back to that, and when you're ready, take it to the next level. The goal is really just to capture the melody and the lyrics in one place so you don't lose them. You don't want them in all, 3 or 4 different places. You want to capture them in one place so that when you're ready, you can come back and take it to the next level. So the next level would be a home recording demo. Some of our most popular episodes and resources have really been around home recording. Now, again, AI is really usurping this place right now. And I'm going to repeat myself. It's not early onset. I know that I'm repeating. It's okay to me it's not cheating to me if you pay for Suno or one of the apps and you have written a complete lyric, a complete melody, and you upload that into one of the apps, and then you tell it to do a country version or a pop version or a bebop or doo-wop or whatever version you want. That's cool. And then that gives you ideas that then you then could take to a studio and produce. I'm okay with that. I think that's fine. In some ways, at least that's the way I feel about it right now. But to upload one verse into AI and tell it to complete your song, that's cheating. That's not cool with me. But if you wanted to do that, okay, that's great. But a lot of people still want a home demo recording situation. We have a client actually in our studio today, and she wants to build a home studio, and that's cool. And full disclosure, I've never been very tech driven. And so I feel like you could spend so much time and so much money, enormous learning curve. If you're not a tech driven, geeky kind of person and you like plugins and you like sample packs and you like to know what chorus and reverb and compression and all that kind of stuff is, it's like, okay, go learn it if you want. But to me, okay, let me make it personal. I realized early on I had a choice. I could learn to be an engineer and a producer and do all that, or I could learn to be a songwriter. And I prefer to be a songwriter. But some people, they've got the capacity for both. If that's your thing, okay, cool. It's kind of like sometimes when people come to me and they're new songwriters and they're like, well, I've just bought a Taylor guitar and I'm going to learn. I'm going to become a great guitarist. It's like, okay, well, you might have to kiss your songwriting goodbye, because if you're going to become a great instrumentalist and you've not already spent, years doing that, it's like you only have so many hours in a day. So choose what you want to do, right? And so I'm not against you becoming, an engineer if that's what you want to do, but be prepared to learn how to program drums, to work with MIDI, piano, bass, synths, and pads. And be prepared for that if that's what you want to do. But I just feel like my time is better spent writing great lyrics and writing great melodies and hiring people that are much, much better at the home recording thing, all right? And that really kind of goes to me that applies in my mind to masters and professional studio production. And I want to encourage you to never, ever spend money on recording a song that isn't proven in your world somehow. Just because you love a song, if you've got tons of discretionary funds, okay, fine. I wish I had every dollar that was spent in Nashville, Tennessee every day producing underbaked songs. I do. I would be a bazillionaire because people do it all the time. They have this foolish notion that if they take their songs to a studio, they're going to suddenly become great. And that's just not how it works, you guys. You need to really get incredible feedback. You need to really have proven songs. People need to be begging for your songs. I wish I could turn this phone off. I don't know. It keeps beeping, Kyle. I don't know what to do. There you go. It's totally distracting me now. I'm in some kind of text thread with somebody and it's totally killing me. But anyway, it's distracting me. Let's get back on track here. People have this mistaken idea that they can take half-baked songs to a studio and they're going to be great. And I had one guy tell me, this has been a few years back, that he had spent $8,000 on this demo recording of his song, and he just thought I was going to be blown out of my chair with the song. It was a terrible song, I just could scream at the producer that took his $8,000 and just threw good money after bad. So don't do that. Get some quality feedback about your song. I think people should be lining up and begging for your song before you ever go spend a whole lot of money on a master recording. You take a song to that level, you can spend anywhere from $1,000 to unlimited amounts of money on master recordings. When you hear master recordings from people like Chris Tomlin or Phil Wickham or the pros, they could have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in a master recording. They have that kind of budget. These people are making millions of dollars. God bless them. I'm happy for them to do that. But they have a lot of money. The best of the best are, involved in their music making, and that's okay. And they serve millions and millions of people with their music, and that's great. Occasionally, you'll have a weird viral song that somebody didn't spend a whole lot of money on, and yet it blows up. It's a God thing. We can't explain it. But I would just be very, very careful about investing in professional studio production until you've gone through some coaching programs, such as we have here at NCS, and you really have people demanding that you deliver that level of production for your songs. You don't really need that to prove your song. You need a good demo. You really do. Maybe you spend $500, maybe you spend $1,000, but only advisedly when it comes to creating the kind of demonstration recordings that can demonstrate your song so that people can begin to hear them. Again, with Suno, I'm going to say it for the 9th time in this one show. If you wrote all the melody, you wrote all the lyrics, create a demo with Suno. Great, that's fine. And then start showing people, hey, this is my worship song. Yes, I wrote the melody. Yes, I wrote the lyric. And Suno helped me deliver a worshipful demonstration recording so that you could sample what I'm hearing in my head, and you get good at prompting it to nuance the way you want it. That's cool. That's fine. But before you take that recording and go to the studio, make sure that it really is resonating with people. There are different levels even of masters. We are doing, for one of our community members, we're doing a guitar and vocal recording in the coming months. And he's going to come to the studio, he's going to play guitar, he's going to sing, and it's going to be a very inexpensive recording, and then that will become his record. That he's going to put that out, and that's great. And that's all he wants to do. But with other artists that we're working with, we're doing higher level production with a whole band and even strings and background vocals, and it's going to be a more involved recording. Back in my early days, I feel like I can still do this. I could hear songs that are really rough. I mean, even off a voice memo, and really discern. This is how I cut my teeth in publishing, was listening to raw recordings or even just somebody singing in my office and determining, hey, that song's worth pitching to an artist to see if they would like to do that. These days, artists and worship leaders, they really don't want to hear a song just in its rawest form. They want to hear something where it's demonstrating a little bit of the flavor. And you have to be careful, again, about throwing good money after bad. If you have an open door to an artist or to a publishing company and you want to exhibit what your song is like, okay, maybe go spend a few $100s on that. Get a young producer, someone who's just starting out, who work with you at a lower level before you start investing at a higher level. Just be careful about that. But if you want to release your music, if you are the artist, if you are the worship leader, if you want to release your songs on the DSPs, the digital service providers, through CD Baby, through DistroKid, through TuneCore, you've got to have a master level recording of some kind. You've got to have some kind of master that it's called a master because it's like the highest level primary recording of that song, and it's the first release on a DSP, right? There's a certain level, certain quality, or they won't accept it. You can't just do a voice memo on the DSPs, right? So you want it to showcase your song at the greatest level. And so that does take some kind of investment. But that's what we mean when we talk about the 3 levels of a work tape, a work demo, a home recording demo, and then a master level recording. And we do all of that here at NCS. We have a pro audio studio. I'm actually in our podcast studio, but we have a main audio room in the back of the house. And we record a lot of the NCS collective music that you hear coming out on NCS Records. And we work with a lot of our artists here in our studio. I've recorded a lot of my work here and will continue to do so. Eau Claire. We love Eau Claire indie rock band on NCS Records, and they've recorded here. We do a lot of vocals. We do tracking. We do a lot of overdubs here in the studio. We actually work with artist development clients that we're developing here at the NCS studios, and we have all the plugins and all the different hoo-ha that goes with that. Don't even ask me what a compressor does. I don't know. But anyway, that's why we hire great people to do all of that kind of thing, because obviously that's not my level of interest. I don't want to be an engineer. I want to be a great songwriter. I want to be a great communicator. And that's why God has sent people like Bryant Urich and Kyle Kicker and other people here to do that wonderful work of serving you. So if you're interested, check out our coaching programs at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. You can set up a call with me, with someone on our staff, to talk about your goals, your production goals, your artistry goals, your songwriting goals. You can join community, and every week you can be part of sharing your songs and learning and growing and getting more insights and coaching towards fulfilling this calling on your life. I hope this is helpful. Check out the download link for the NCS Complete Songwriting Guide in the show notes and learn more, grow, be intentional, and take your next right steps. All right, I'll see you next time on the show. Hey, thanks for joining us on today's episode. Be sure to check out all the information below in the show notes, and be sure to like and share. We'll see you next time.